Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so you're aiming to get your very first US passport. We all know that staring down those government websites can feel a bit like trying to decipher an ancient code, right? Well, today, we're going to gamify this seemingly complex application process and turn the whole thing into a clear, easy-to-follow quest. We are breaking down the exact source material from the State Department so that by the end of our time together, you'll have absolutely everything you need to confidently secure your ultimate travel document. Let's get into it. Here is the agenda for our quest today. We're looking at 5 quick stages. First, the golden ticket, Form DS-11. Second, proving who you are. Third, copies and the perfect photo. Fourth, counting the costs. And finally, crossing the finish line.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, the golden ticket, Form DS-11.
So if you're 18 or older and a first-time applicant, this form is literally the most vital artifact of your entire quest. Step 1 is pretty straightforward. Just complete Form DS-11 online or by hand. But beware of Step 2. You have to print this on single-sided paper. Seriously, the State Department is incredibly strict about this. If you print double-sided just to save a piece of paper, your application is going to get rejected right out of the gate. And then, Step 3 is to simply stop and wait for instructions. Which brings us to the absolutely most critical warning of this entire explainer. Do not sign it yet. I cannot stress this enough. I know, it's totally human nature to fill out a long form and immediately sign your name at the bottom to finish it off, right? Do not do it. You must wait to sign this document until the official passport agent explicitly instructs you to do so under oath. Think of it like this. There's a really strict boundary between your at-home homework and your at-facility requirements. At home, you print the form and you fill it out. At the facility, and only at the facility, you sign the form in person. Keeping these two phases separate is honestly the easiest way to avoid instant rejection and a super frustrating trip back home to print everything all over again. Moving right along to Section 2, proving who you are. Okay, this is the identity verification phase. This is where we gather the specific artifacts that legally prove your U.S. citizenship. Now, take a breath. You absolutely do not need to panic and drag in a mountain of paperwork. You only need to provide just one of the following acceptable original documents. Most commonly, people just use a U.S. birth certificate. But hey, if you have a full, valid, undamaged U.S. passport from when you were a kid, a consular report of birth abroad, a certificate of naturalization, or a certificate of citizenship, any single one of those will perfectly satisfy this requirement. But here is a real deal breaker you've got to watch out for. Physical originals are accepted, but digital documents completely rejected. We live in a digital world where everything from our credit cards to our boarding passes is on our phones, right? But showing a PDF or a photo of your birth certificate on a screen will instantly fail this quest. You absolutely must bring the physical original evidence with you to the facility. No exceptions. Okay, so besides proving your citizenship, you've also got to prove your day-to-day identity. You must provide a physical government-issued photo ID. A valid driver's license is definitely the gold standard here, but pay close attention to this slightly sneaky caveat. Applying out of state? If your driver's license is from a different state than the passport facility you are physically standing in, the rules state you actually need to provide a backup second form of photo ID. Just something to keep in mind so a technicality doesn't trip you up. All right, on to Section 3, copies and the perfect photo. Now that we've gathered our heavy-hitting documents, we're getting into the real nitty-gritty, starting with the rigid rules for your photocopies. You need to bring copies of your citizenship evidence as well as the front and back of your photo ID. These copies must be on exactly 8.5 by 11-inch standard white paper. Again, single-sided only. Do not shrink the images down and do not print on the back. And please remember, making these copies absolutely does not replace the need to bring the actual originals. You need the original to show the agent and the copy to leave with them. Next up is your passport photo. You just need one physical photo, but wow, the compliance standards are strict. The State Department requires specific size dimensions, exactly 2 by 2 inches. You need a plain white or off-white background, proper lighting with no shadows on your face, high image resolution with 0 digital manipulation, and a neutral facial expression. No big cheesy grins allowed, unfortunately. Make sure you follow these closely so you don't get turned away just for having a bad picture. Let's talk money in Section 4, counting the costs. Unlocking this ultimate travel reward isn't free, right? And the payment structure itself is, well, it's slightly unconventional. The
The government breaks down separate fees depending on exactly what kind of passport you apply for, an application fee and an acceptance fee. So, a passport book costs $130 plus a $35 fee. A passport card is just $30 plus that $35 fee. Or you could get both for $160 plus that same $35 fee.
Now, you might be wondering, what's the actual difference between the book and the card? This distinction is vital. The passport book is valid for all international air travel. The passport card, it is not valid for international air travel. It's only good for land and sea border crossings to places like Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, and the Caribbean. I want to heavily emphasize this so you don't accidentally waste your money on the wrong item. If you are planning to get on a plane and fly overseas, you absolutely must apply for the passport book.
And speaking of those fees from earlier, here is a bizarre bureaucratic quirk you definitely need to know. These must be two separate payments. The application fee goes directly to the Department of State, and you usually pay that by check or money order. Meanwhile, the acceptance fee goes directly to the local facility that's processing your paperwork. You literally cannot combine these into one giant payment because they're going to two completely different government entities. Crazy, right?
Almost there. Section 5. Crossing the finish line.
The pieces are gathered, the fees are ready. This is where we take your hard-earned artifacts to an official location to finally complete the journey. If you're wondering where to actually go to submit all of this, rest easy. There are over 7,500 authorized acceptance facilities across the United States. You don't have to travel all the way to Washington, D.C. for this. These facilities include local post offices, clerks of court, public libraries, and other designated government offices. Finding a spot to submit your quest items is likely just a short drive from your house.
All right, let's put the whole shebang together into your ultimate master checklist. Keep this list handy. You need your DS-11 application, remember, unsigned, your original proof of U.S. citizenship, your standard citizenship document photocopy, your physical government-issued photo ID, the front and back ID photocopy, one compliant passport photo, and the required passport fees prepared as two separate payments. If you have all this in hand, you can confidently walk right up to the counter at your appointment knowing you are perfectly prepared. You did it. You have successfully navigated the bureaucracy. Once you hand over that packet and swear your oath with the agent, it is just a matter of waiting for the mail to arrive. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this question to spark your imagination. Where in the world are you going to go first with your new passport? The entire globe is literally about to open up to you. Thanks so much for joining me. Get that paperwork sorted and safe travels out there.